We're back again with another story, and before we dive in, don't forget to like, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. Now let's talk about Cardi B, because she's in the spotlight once again. This time, the heat is coming from some serious accusations. People are saying Cardi B's lyrics aren't really hers at all. Here's where it gets interesting. Pardison Fontaine, the man known for writing a lot of Cardi's tracks, is being accused of lifting lines straight from battle rapper Miss Hustle. And since he's her writer, the blame is naturally falling back on Cardi too. Fans are calling it out loud, saying she's been exposed. The internet isn't holding back, and the proof that's coming out looks hard to ignore. Receipts? Oh. They're here, and we're about to break them down.
And here are the receipts.
Doubly, glory hole. Bitches don't know who they fucking with.
Don't know who you fucking with. That's a glory hole. I showed you that.
Now let me say this about Cardi B. For a long time, she's been throwing shade at other female rappers, whether it was Saweetie, Ice Spice, JT, or even Nicki Minaj. But here's the reality. Every single one of them actually writes way more of their own music than Cardi ever has. And the funny part is, you don't see people accusing them of stealing melodies or lyrics every time they drop a track. That problem seems to follow Cardi around like a shadow. It's almost like originality is missing from her music. Remember that talk about her track downside? Yeah, reports came out back then too, saying she lifted it from someone else. So this isn't new. It's a pattern. But at the same time, we can't dump the entire blame on Cardi herself. At the end of the day, she's more of the front figure. The real people moving the strings are Pardison Fontaine and Titanic Records. They're the ones feeding her material, pushing her forward, and letting her believe she's untouchable. And let's be honest, Cardi doesn't even hold a fraction of the talent that artists like Nicki Minaj, JT, Megan Thee Stallion, or even Doja Cat bring to the table. You don't see their work constantly linked with stolen reference tracks or questionable lyrics. But when it comes to Cardi, it's always the same story. And to me, that screams one thing loud and clear. Cardi B is not writing her raps. Switching gears for a second, Doja Cat has been making waves with the promo shots for her upcoming album V. And let me just say, she looks absolutely stunning. One particular picture stood out so much that I honestly think it deserves to be the album cover itself. The pose, the vibe, the energy, it's all flawless. Now, I know she already teased what might actually be the real cover, but this one right here feels powerful. If it were up to me, this would be the face of the project. Now let's talk about Doja Cat, because things haven't been so smooth for her either. Her track Jealous Type actually got leaked online before its official release. And the story behind it is pretty shady. A lot of fans believe the leak wasn't some random accident. It was done by those chart-obsessed groups, the ones who people often call the Dusties. The timing makes it even more suspicious, because the leak happened right before Taylor was set to release her own single on the exact same day as Doja. That looks a lot like sabotage. Honestly, I feel bad for Doja here. She didn't deserve this. And at the same time, I kind of think she should call Taylor out a little bit, because this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Pop fans have been saying for years that Taylor has a way of overshadowing or undercutting other artists. People have pointed fingers at her for allegedly sabotaging Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, Ariana Grande, Charli XCX, and a handful of other pop stars. But the funny thing is, no one ever really calls Taylor out publicly for it. Nobody paints her as the hater, even when these patterns keep showing up. And to make matters worse, Doja's own team is upset about the leak. One of her stylists, pretty sure it was the hairstylist, went online and said, "Y'all really couldn't have waited 2 more days. Goddamn." Now the question is, who's y'all? Because true Doja Cat fans wouldn't do this. Real fans want to experience the music the proper way, on release day, not spoil it early. But here's the challenge. Doja's release date isn't just about her. That same week, Mariah the Scientist is dropping, Taylor is dropping, and a few other artists are coming out with new tracks too. So even without the leak, Doja's got heavy competition. At this point, her only shot at turning this around is if the music video absolutely delivers, and if the song gains serious traction online. Otherwise, this moment could slip away, and nobody wants to see that happen. Now, while Doja is dealing with that, let's swing back to Cardi B, because she's been going off on social media again. Her latest single is struggling on the charts, and instead of letting it slide, Cardi launched into a major rant, trying to explain and defend herself.
Now in this mindset that I'm at today, I'm not gonna let nobody make me hate something that I love. You shouldn't let people what they say about you, like it's like hate something that you really love, and you put a lot to it. Like it's like I put a lot of thought in this record and I put a lot of time in this record because I really just genuinely love this record, and I'm not gonna stop loving it because motherfuckers is like criticizing it, talking shit about it, whatever the fuck. When it comes to fucking Station Head and getting on fucking Station Head, I was one of the fucking first artists to get on motherfucking Station Head. One of the first that they actually asked me for state if I want to state on motherfucking states on motherfucking Station Head. So shut the fuck up. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Every single time that I motherfucking put out a single, I come here. I got off of it and I stopped using it as much because it's like I don't really like what's the point of me coming over here? Like it's like what was the point unless I gotta promote a fucking song? You fucking dumb. So because I see that I was getting attacked by that, and it's like, baby, I only come to Station Head to do.
Now let's get into Cardi B's rant, because honestly, it's turning into comedy at this point. She went online bragging about being the first person to use Station Head. Like that's some kind of major achievement. Let's be real, even if she was the first, who actually cares? That's not a flex, that's desperation. And the irony is, just days ago she was comparing herself to other artists, calling them flops. Now suddenly she's holding on to Station Head like it's a Grammy. It really comes across as sad, because instead of celebrating real accolades, awards, critical success, cultural impact, she's bragging about being first to use a streaming app. And when you think about it, that feels like a jab at Nicki Minaj. But here's the truth. Nicki's not even paying attention. Nicki literally told her fans to leave Station Head behind. So why would she care if Cardi used it first? The only one obsessed with that comparison is Cardi herself. And then there's the surgery talk. Cardi might have the most procedures out of all the female rappers, but let's be honest. Just because you have the most doesn't mean you look the best. The fact that she even competes over things like this shows how insecure she really is. It's not about the music anymore. It's about trying to one-up every other woman in the industry on the smallest details. Meanwhile, her fans aren't blind. They can see through the act. A lot of them are pretending to support her music, but deep down, they know the songs aren't hitting. Take Imaginary Players, for example. That track is already sliding down the charts fast. On August 17th, it pulled in around 257,000 streams, and by the very next day, it dropped to 254,000. Numbers like that have people worried it might not even survive more than a week on the Hot 100. And the problem is simple. She's not putting in the effort where it matters. The song is basically a sample, and the writing credit goes straight to Pardison Fontaine, just like so many of her other tracks. So how much of it is actually Cardi? Fans are asking the same thing. Instead of clinging to Station Head, maybe she should be focusing on delivering a real single that can actually hold its ground. Because at this point, her last two attempts didn't stick. Outside wasn't a hit, and this one's crashing just as fast. Now let's shift gears and talk about Rihanna, because the conversation around her brand has gotten really heated online. Some fans are claiming that Devil Nation might be targeting her, trying to drag her name through the mud. The criticism this time is aimed at her skincare line under Fenty Beauty, with people saying the products don't live up to the hype. This wave of backlash comes not long after a bigger controversy that put Rihanna's billion-dollar company under the microscope. A complaint was filed against Fenty Beauty by the National Commission for Protection of Child Rights in India, after it was revealed that mica used in some of their products was allegedly sourced from mines connected to child labor. That story broke a few months ago, and ever since, Rihanna's brand has been in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Now, fans are taking to social media with harsh reviews. One post went viral saying, "Okay, enough time has passed. Fenty, skin is burning my skin," and that tweet pulled in over 3.2 million views. Another fan added, "Love Rihanna bad, but Fenty skin messed me up terribly and caused cystic acne. I had to fight it off for months after only using it for 3 weeks." That kind of feedback is hard to ignore, and honestly, I'll keep it real with you. Back when Fenty Skin first launched, I tried one of the products myself, the Fat Water Toner, and my experience wasn't great either. For me, it just didn't work. Now, that doesn't mean it won't work for anyone, but I can definitely see why people are saying the line feels generic. In fact, a lot of Rihanna's beauty and hair care drops seem to sell more because of her personality and star power than because of the actual quality. Fans love her, so they support her. But that doesn't necessarily make the products life-changing. Take her hair care line as another example. The shampoo and conditioner were hyped at first, but complaints quickly followed. People were saying it didn't perform well, and now those same products are already being spotted in discount stores like Marshall's. That says a lot. Don't get why. Me wrong. Rihanna is still the queen of makeup. Fenty Beauty completely shifted the industry when it came out. But lately, a lot of her launches feel more like quick cash grabs than passionate projects. Compare that to Beyoncé. Not everything Beyoncé touches turns to gold. Her Ivy Park line flopped pretty badly, but when you look at her current project, the Secret hair care line, fans and critics alike are calling it top tier. That's the kind of attention to detail Rihanna seems to be missing with some of her recent drops. Now let's move over to the Emmy talk, because this year's predictions are getting people hyped. According to Variety, Queen Bey herself, Beyoncé, is expected to take home the award for Outstanding Variety Special, Live. And if she does, it won't just be another trophy on the shelf. It'll officially make her a 2-time Emmy winner and the most awarded artist at this year's ceremony. That's huge. So what do y'all think? Do you see Beyoncé walking away with another win, or will the Emmys surprise us? But Beyoncé isn't the only one in the spotlight. Variety also has its eye on Kung Fu Kenny, Kendrick Lamar. His Super Bowl halftime performance is being predicted to snag the award for Outstanding Music Direction and Choreography at the 2025 Emmys. The show itself was a cultural moment, and honestly, it wouldn't be shocking to see the Academy recognize it. The ceremony is set to air on September 14th, and fans everywhere are already placing bets on who's taking home the gold. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Personally, I think Kendrick deserves that Emmy. His artistry, his stage direction, the way he built that halftime performance, it was legendary. But there's a cloud hanging over all of this. The Emmys may not want to wade into controversy because of an ongoing legal battle involving none other than Champagne Thickums. He's been dragging names left and right into his lawsuit with Universal, from billion-dollar execs to entire companies. And that kind of drama might make the Academy nervous about awarding someone closely tied to the chaos. So the big question is, will Beyoncé and Kendrick both walk away winners? Or will politics and lawsuits overshadow the talent on display? And moving on from that, let's talk about Halle Bailey, because her name has been trending lately, and not for the reasons you might expect. Recently, Halle was honored by the city of Los Angeles with an award recognizing her postpartum journey and contributions to maternal health awareness. On the surface, that sounds like something to celebrate, right? But instead of praise, she's been hit with a wave of backlash. Apparently, fans of Doodle Garbage started a petition directed at the city of Los Angeles claiming that Halle doesn't deserve the recognition. The criticism has gotten harsh, with people online even comparing her to Lil Durk, calling her a psychopath and dragging her left and right. The negativity has gotten so heavy that it feels like people are almost looking for reasons to tear her down. Here's my take. This is exactly the time Halle needs a solid PR team behind her. A smart publicist could easily help her reshape the narrative and protect her image. Because let's be honest, this kind of dragging is unusual for Halle. She's never really been the center of controversy like this before, and now it feels like the situation is spiraling. And over what? A small recognition of her journey. It's not like the city handed her a massive cash prize or some prestigious global award. From what we've seen, it was more symbolic than anything. A certificate, a gesture, something that acknowledges her story. Nothing worth turning into a public witch hunt. So, when people are out here losing their minds over it, calling her names and acting like this changes the music industry, it just feels unnecessary. The award was about maternal health awareness, something positive. The outrage honestly says more about the critics than it does about Halle. Like, let's be real. Halle's not getting $1 million check from this. She's not landing new blockbuster roles because of it. It was just the city acknowledging her postpartum journey, that's all. But Halle, I'm saying this again. Please invest in a solid PR team because the way this is playing out is just embarrassing, and it didn't need to get this far. Now, shifting gears, the list of the biggest producers of the century on the Hot 100 just dropped, courtesy of Kale,
number 2?
Labor, And Max
Isn't
Martin
he
is
an
sitting pretty at
R-word?
number 1.
See, this is why I
No
gotta give
surprise
Caleb
there.
Ward
He's worked with
50,000
everybody.
lashes.
Taylor,
I noticed they do that
Ariana,
to the
Britney,
white
and
celebrities.
countless
Like,
other
the
chart
white
toppers.
celebrities can get away
That man
with being
basically
on,
shaped the sound of modern
certain
pop.
islands.
But here's the real problem.
Being
Why is
R-words or
Dr. Puke
abusers.
sitting
They
at
still
number
get
2?
put on list, right?
Let's not forget.
But I don't
This
see
man has
R.
been
Kelly
accused of
on
some
here.
very serious things.
Okay, because guess
And
what?
yet he's still being
an
praised,
R-word.
still being
So
celebrated
if
on
he
these kinds
can't
of
be on the
lists.
list,
Meanwhile,
neither can
someone
you.
like R.
And
Kelly,
R. Kelly
who
has
also wrote
produced
and
a lot of
produced
records
countless
and written
records,
a lot of songs.
is
Okay?
erased completely,
But
and
it's just
rightfully
not
so,
fair
because
that
of his crimes.
Dr. Puke is still
But
getting
if we're
praised.
applying that standard
We
to
got
him,
Queen Bee,
why
we got
isn't it
Jack
applied to Dr.
Anoff,
Puke?
Benny Blanco,
That double
Jermaine
standard is
Dupri,
glaring.
Timberland.
It always seems like the rules bend
We got
when it
the
comes
chart
to certain white
Queen
celebrities.
Taylor.
They can have
Ye,
accusations, dark
the
histories,
Queen of
and
Christmas.
still end
The
up on
Queen of
industry
Christmas.
lists
What
and
has
receiving
she ever
accolades.
produced?
But when it's a black artist,
I don't think
the industry
Mariah
is
should
quick
be on
to
this
erase
list.
them
Now, if
entirely.
it was a songwriter,
It's hypocritical.
then she should be on the list.
Now,
but
the
I
rest
don't
of
know
the
if she
names
should
on
be
the
on
list,
the list as a
Queen.
producer. I don't know about that.
Bey is there,
No
Jack
shade.
Antonoff, Benny Blanco,
The
Jermaine Dupri,
Weeknd.
Timbaland. Those
I
make
don't
sense.
think so. I mean,
Taylor's
they
name
got
popped up too,
some heavy
and then they
hitters
even
on
threw
here.
Mariah Carey in
I
as the
just
Queen
don't
of
think
Christmas.
Dr. Puke, the
But
R-word,
let's be
should be
honest,
on the list.
has Mariah really
You know what
produced
I'm
like
saying?
that?
If R. Kelly and
songwriter,
all the other
absolutely.
R-words
She
that are
deserves
black
all her
can't be
flowers.
on the list, why did he not
But
on
as a
here?
producer,
I mean,
I'm
he
not
has
too sure she
produced
belongs
records.
on this list.
They always do
Same
that
with
to the
The
evil
Weeknd.
white people.
Great artist,
It's just
but as a
not
producer
fair.
on
But
this
then
level,
again, look who y'all made president.
questionable.
So
At the
never
end of the
mind.
day, the
But anyway, I
heavy
got
hitters
some
are
very
there.
hot tea on
But
Patreon.
Dr.
Link
Puke
will be in
being
the description,
included just
and I
doesn't
hope
sit
you guys
right.
have a great day.
If the industry wants to blacklist certain artists for their actions, then it needs to apply that same energy across the board, not pick and choose based on race or popularity. Anyway, that's my take. I'm heated about it, and y'all already know I go even deeper on Patreon, so check the link in the description if you want the unfiltered tea. Stay tuned, and I hope y'all have a great day.